Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Thursday. Eric Franke is with us once again. You're almost through the first week.
He's got another week left.
He's got
on
another
vacation.
whole week to go, yeah.
He always gets these great December vacations, but he's missing some pretty good weather today.
He is. Actually, it's very nice. We'll get an update from Dave Caulfield in just a second. Here's what's making news this Thursday. Governor Walker uses powers to give Kimberly Clark money, powers that the legislature is taking away from the next governor. Our Rose Schmidt will explain.
Another suspect of the shooting that happened at Vision's nightclub over the weekend has been arrested. Jamie Perez will join us with the latest on that story.
And a new era for space travel, how space tourism took a big step forward today. But first, let's take a look outside today. It was nice to see the sun. It was mild.
Yeah, it felt good.
Yeah, it felt really good. It's getting a little cloudier now, but oh, this is a really nice shot. I'm not sure where.
Nice weather ahead. Got some really good days. As Gary said yesterday, it jeopardizes the white Christmas concept.
Yeah,
but,
that's right. A lot of people are looking for snow, actually.
And others not so much.
Others like yourself are not.
I'm fine without it.
Those are cool clouds, Dave Caulfield, in that shot.
Yeah, I'm really just looking at them and really interested in that pattern. I love when kind of there are wave patterns in the clouds like that. I was geeking out just a couple minutes ago. I could barely talk about it. I'm so excited. And I'm very excited about this weekend's weather with temperatures in the 40s and plenty of sunshine. However, some of us may pick up a little bit of rain, a couple of snowflakes, maybe even some freezing drizzle tonight. So I want to talk about that first. We've noticed the clouds filtering in throughout the day on visible cloud track, but we are still seeing a little bit of blue sky in downtown Madison on the Edgewater Skycam. Here's what Doppler track looks like right now. We notice the rain moving from the south, and we do have a little bit of snow off to the north and west. The low pressure system that's going to affect some of us is off to our south. So that has brought in some warmer air throughout the day today and could set up just a few of us, especially south and east of Madison tonight into early tomorrow morning with a few raindrops or freezing raindrops in spots. Temperatures are in the upper 30s and low 40s across southern Wisconsin. That's about 5 degrees warmer compared to this time yesterday, and our dew points have come up a little bit, meaning that the moisture is there for some precipitation a little bit later on today. Live look in Madison, the WISC-TV Skycam. Your forecast first. Temperatures are staying in the mid-30s with the clouds staying put for tonight, and a couple of snowflakes not out of the question for some of us, but it really shouldn't cause a major impact on travel. So here is a look at your first alert traffic update. The interstate at County V looking good right now. No major accidents or incidents to report across Dayton County. Traffic generally heading out at the posted speeds. Starting to see a few brake lights on the Beltline, though, closer to Verona Road, but things are looking pretty good through Fish Hatchery and also Park Street. But John Nolan Drive starting to see some of those brake lights. So here are your drive times. John Nolan to the interstate eastbound, that's 5 minutes, so everything looking a-okay. Average speed of around 50 miles per hour. And some other routes in and around Madison. Middleton to Sauk City westbound on Highway 12 at 17 minutes with an average speed of around 60 miles per hour. And that is your first alert traffic. I took a look at the numbers with Gary over the last few hours, and we have our prediction for whether or not we're going to see a white Christmas coming up. And I'll talk about that in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll check back in a little while. Thanks, Dave.
First at 4 with 3.5 weeks left on the job, Governor Scott Walker striking a $28 million deal with paper giant Kimberly Clark.
And he is using powers that would be stripped from his successor, Tony Evers, to pass the deal. Rose Schmidt is here now to explain.
That's right. The governor has quietly been making this deal with the state's job creation agency known as WISC to help keep the Kimberly Clark plant in northeastern Wisconsin open. The $28 million agreement would keep 388 jobs there with an annual payroll of $30 million. He made the announcement this afternoon in Neenah. The governor also called for the lame duck bills passed by the legislature last week. One would strip the governor's powers over WISC, meaning if he had signed the bills first, he would have needed lawmakers' approval for the Kimberly Clark deal, which he says signals a long-term commitment in Wisconsin for the company.
You've got a company now, but because of our assistance, is able to make up to a $200 million investment in an expansion here. An expansion that I hope sends a message not only to all of you, but to the rest of the state that this company is vested here. This isn't some short-term thing. This is about saying, okay, we make the numbers work, and now we not only protect your jobs, we open the door for more jobs and more opportunity.
Kimberly Clark will receive $28 million of taxpayer money over the next 5 years. Republican lawmakers called the extraordinary session last week, hoping to pass a tax break bill for the company, but the plan had fallen apart in the Senate because several Republicans would not support it. The governor has said he plans to veto parts of the lame duck bills, but would not say which parts. Evers released a statement today saying the lame duck bills would affect the governor's ability over deals like Kimberly-Clark, and he called on Walker to veto the power stripping bills. So
he doesn't have much more time, Governor Walker, does he, to make that decision?
Yeah, Evers is sworn in on January 7th, so 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Yeah, and the clock is ticking on him signing the lame duck legislation.
Yes, 6 days.
6 days. Okay, we'll continue to follow it. Thanks, Rose.
And Tony Evers was among 13 governors-elect who met with the president at the White House today. Evers calling the meeting with the president of the United States a, quote, privilege. He wrote that in an op-ed in the La Crosse Tribune. President Trump calling his guests from both parties, quote, terrific people who've done a wonderful job. The governors-elect also met with cabinet members as part of a broader White House outreach effort to work with state and local leaders. Afterwards, Tony Evers thanked the president, said he looked forward to working with him.
The clock is ticking for the 115th Congress to complete its work before the year's end. Mola Lenghi is on Capitol Hill, where lawmakers are scrambling to avoid spending the holidays on Capitol Hill.
Congress may be riding high after passing an $800 billion bipartisan farm bill earlier this week.
The boost this bill delivers couldn't come soon enough.
But the legislative to-do list for the 115th Congress is still lengthy. Top on the list is avoiding a government shutdown after the December 21st deadline.
What I'm hearing on the Hill is that we might be more likely to have a CR for all 7 bills until the end of September.
Democratic leaders continue to make it clear that despite the president's threats,
I will shut down the government.
They will not budge on his demands for a $5 billion border wall. Meanwhile, the president has thrown his support behind the First Step Act, a House-passed criminal justice reform bill that would overhaul sentencing guidelines. That bill could be put in jeopardy by just a handful of Senate Republicans.
I don't think the Senate should vote to let carjackers and bank robbers out of prison. Maybe other senators do. That's their prerogative.
One internal victory of note for federal lawmakers is an agreement on changes to the Congressional Accountability Act of 1995. Those changes are intended to strengthen protections for victims of sexual harassment on Capitol Hill.
Time is finally up for members of Congress who think that they can sexually harass. Time's up for all of those who somehow thought that victims could be ignored.
The measure already passed both chambers by unanimous consent. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The Senate also just passed a resolution meant to punish the Saudi crown prince for his role in the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. That resolution restricts U.S. support for the Saudi-led efforts in the war in Yemen.
A woman accused of being a spy for the Russian government had her day in court. Maria Butina pled guilty to 1 count of conspiracy against the United States in federal court. According to court documents, the 30-year-old took steps to develop relationships with American politicians in order to advance the interests of Russia. Butina also accused of trying to arrange a meeting between the president and Russian President Vladimir Putin, but her case is not connected to Robert Mueller's ongoing investigation. Governor Scott Walker had his picture taken with Butina on the day he launched his unsuccessful presidential bid back in 2015. Police have arrested a second suspect believed to have been involved with the shooting at Vision's nightclub in Madison over the weekend. Police say Spencer Jackson, the fourth, was arrested on suspicion of disorderly conduct while armed.
While Jackson awaits an initial hearing, the other suspected shooter, 35-year-old Cole Foster, appeared in court for the second time today. Jamie Perez is in the news center with the latest details. Jamie?
Right, well, Foster was in court today for a bail hearing, but that didn't come without some hurdles in the courtroom. So there were some discrepancies in the district attorney's report of how many charges Foster would be facing. The judge had records of 2 counts of recklessly endangering safety with use of a dangerous weapon, while the DA's assistant reported in court that he had 3 counts on record. Now, because of the inconsistencies of what's going to be charged, the judge reduced the bail to $100,000 cash bond that was originally set at $150,000. But despite this, Foster's lawyer's main argument in the hearing today was that Foster did not shoot his gun until after he was stabbed repeatedly in the head.
Before the shooting, Cole Foster was stabbed in the head repeatedly before he defended himself, and he stated, I guess I'm stating on his behalf, he fired 2 rounds and no more. There were other people with firearms in that nightclub, and somebody else fired the other shots.
The judge added that no one can prove innocence at this time, nor can they determine if there is sufficient evidence at this point to prove a self-defense argument. They do not have a full picture of what's going to be charged. Foster's preliminary hearing is scheduled for December 19th at 1:30. And following that shooting at Visions nightclub, there have also been some conversations of revoking the liquor license there. Coming up tonight at 5, where the city stands on that and where they're at in that process.
All right, Jamie Perez in the News Center. Jamie, thank you.
French police say they have shot and killed the suspected gunman behind Tuesday's deadly attack on Strasbourg's Christmas market. An official says the suspect, who killed 3 people in the attack, opened fire on police, and police responded, killing him. The suspect, identified as 29-year-old Sharif Shakat, has been on the run since the attack. Police believe the suspect acted alone.
3 people stranded in a West Virginia coal mine are now recovering in the hospital. Rescuers had been trying to reach them for 4 days and located them last night around 4,000 feet underground. Emergency workers worked around the clock for 4 days searching deep into that mine, while the percentages on their oxygen detection gauges near deadly levels. Cody Beverly and Kayla Williams were covered with soot when they spoke with reporters.
We prayed a lot. We tried to stay together.
Make it out. We knew that our families were searching for us.
A 4th person who emerged from the mine on Monday helped rescuers find the other 3. One of the searchers believes the cost of the rescue mission could be as much as $1 million. Police say the group went into the mine to steal copper wiring, and they could face criminal charges.
A record number of people are expected to travel this holiday season. AAA says a record 112 million people will be traveling more than 50 miles for the 7th straight year. Travel between December 22nd and January 1st is reaching a new high.
We really are attributing the increase to the strength of the economy. We see that consumer spending is strong and also unemployment is low.
Over 100 million drivers will be on the road this year. That's up 4% from last year, fueled by falling gas prices. Nearly 7 million will be flying. That's also up 4% from last year. AAA says the busiest days to fly will be December 22nd, 23rd, and the 26th.
Commercial space travel one step closer to reality. An aircraft carrying the Virgin spaceship took off from California's Mojave Desert this morning. It was on its way to the edge of space. At 45,000 feet, the aircraft released the Spaceship Two, which rocketed more than 51 miles above the Earth. On board, 2 test pilots and a mannequin representing a future passenger. It landed safely moments later. Virgin Galactic founder Richard Branson spoke with CBS Network following the launch.
I'm really hopeful that a lot of people watching your program one day will be able to go to space. And that's our aim, is to try to make it safe and affordable for as many people as possible.
Branson competing with fellow billionaires Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk in the race to get tourists to space. More than 600 people have signed up to fly Virgin Galactic. The rides are priced at $250,000.
If money was no object, would you do it?
No.
You know,
Not that, it's just, I mean, for one little trip, but I mean,
I don't know.
We'll see how far they can take it in the years ahead.
Yeah. And
then we'll get our reservations
okay.
in. All right, Emmy Fink standing by with what's happening this weekend.
That's coming up next. But first, news that Apple is building a new $1 billion campus. We'll tell you where when Live at 4 continues.
Welcome back. Apple reveals plans for a new $1 billion campus north of Austin, Texas.
It will make the tech giant that area's largest employer. Apple will staff the campus with 5,000 employees, but could grow to 15,000. That's in addition to the 6,000 Apple workers who already call the Austin area home. Also today, the company said it plans to establish sites in Seattle, San Diego, and Culver City, California, with more than 1,000 employees at each of those sites.
And on that news today, Apple stock was up 1% despite the NASDAQ ending a 3-day win streak with a 28-point drop. The Dow added 70, while the S&P lost a half point. It is weekend time here in the 608.
We're almost there. It's Friday Eve, as we say, and Emmy Fink is here with a look at what's going on around town. It's going to be a nice weekend weather-wise. There's lots going on. Hi, Emmy.
Great. Hello, and a great reason to get out and, do some pre-Christmas holiday things.
Last weekend before,
yeah.
right.
Oh, man.
So let's start with something that's going all weekend long at the Bartell.
Yeah, so this first one is pretty cool. It's the students from the Central Ballet Midwest Ballet Academy, and they're going to perform The Little Matchstick Girl. So it was based on a short story by Hans Christian Andersen, published back in 1845. So this is a family-friendly production that's going to take you through the tale of this young girl's Christmas Eve adventure. But I do want to warn you, if you have little ones or you have I would have a hard time getting through it. There's some heavy and sad moments, but it is a good story. So,
well, that's good just to be forewarned.
Right, just take it for what it's worth.
Okay. And nothing really says Christmas quite like this next one.
No, I mean, this is a very traditional. It's the big traditional production of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. It's put on every year by the Overture Center at CTM, of course, Children's Theater of Madison. And this year, American Players Theater actor David Daniel is going to step into the role of the big bad Ebenezer Scrooge. And so this takes place Saturday and Sunday, both days at 2:30. If you can't make it this weekend, next weekend as well. But most likely next weekend's going to be even busier than this weekend.
Right.
So maybe get there if you can.
It's a great Madison tradition. Every year,
sure.
CTM puts on an amazing show. And there's another holiday favorite, but with a little bit of a twist.
Exactly. So we know of the Nutcracker at the Overture Center. So this is still the Nutcracker, but a little bit different. So Dance Wisconsin, which is the regional dance company for dancers 12 years and older, are going to bring us the Nutcracker this weekend at the Memorial Union. Of course, not to be confused with that other one. This one, though, is still going to have over 80 performances. So 80 dancers, musicians, and members of the Monona Grove High School Singers, and both shows Saturday and Sunday, Shannon Hall at the Memorial Union.
And it's not always all about the holidays. You're going to have a little something else out there for people if they're looking for something else, right?
Yeah, if they're just a bah humbug or they're not ready to sip the holiday cheer 24/7.
Right.
I mean, I get that a little bit. So this next one is pretty cool. So before a crowd, including a panel of judges made up of music industry veterans, a slate of up-and-coming local musicians, they're going to compete in the annual Madison Area Music Association Breakthrough Artist Competition. It's only like 7 words. That takes place at the High Noon Saloon Sunday night. So if you're looking for a little Sunday fun day, that takes place from 6 until 10. The grand prize will actually get to headline a spot at the Mamas Award, which is next June. So I mean, if you really want to, if you think you have talent and you really want to go for it,
try it out.
A lot on the line there.
Why not, right?
All right, Emmy, thank you very much.
Thanks, Emmy. Have a good weekend.
You guys too.
Have a happy holiday season as well. Get this month's Madison Magazine. Get all the best going on in the Madison area.
When we come back, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. I'm not going to sing it. Although
You're not gonna?
I can't sing it. I'm not going to sing.
Chimney.
Emmy will sing it.
Well, you'll be hearing. She's good.
She's good.
You'll be hearing more of that very soon.
Mary Poppins is flying back into theaters. I'm Chris Martinez with the stars who are bringing the classic characters back to life.
Take a look at this. Jonathan gives his bride Kelsey the special pre-garter removal dance, and she seems pretty amused by the whole thing. However, this is just the warm-up act. After some interesting moves, his groomsmen walk in and hand him a construction vest and the hard hat. And now wearing the necessary equipment, he pumps up the crowd and goes for the garter. After taking a little too long, though, Kelsey's dad gets on the dance floor and playfully gets after Jonathan with a folding chair.
That's cute.
That is not a live look at Dana Fulton's
No, we're still waiting to see
weekend.
Dana. Yeah, Dana gets married on Saturday, so we'll share a wedding picture when she sends us one.
And today is December 13th. It is National Day of the Horse, encouraging people to be mindful of the contribution of horses to the economy, to gambling, to history. It didn't say gambling in there, and the character of the United States.
It is National Violin Day, honoring, well done, that's very good, honoring the instrument, which is also known as the fiddle. Violinists have demonstrated over the generations the versatility of the violin by extensive use in many different genres. That's something I always wanted to learn how to play.
Never
violin.
too late.
I know, well, yeah, that's
We're
true.
going to actually document Susan learning the violin.
That would be a pretty funny video,
That would
actually.
be pretty
Yeah.
funny. Might be painful.
I tried for a week and I couldn't get it, so good luck. Good luck on that. And it's National Cocoa Day, a winter day, the perfect time to make yourself a cup of hot cocoa. We have 3
Look at the beautiful little
cups right now.
The beautiful little thing with Steve saying, put some marshmallows.
You have to have marshmallows.
Put some marshmallows in the
live
cocoa.
look.
Yeah.
Yes, Nicole did a beautiful job here.
She
but
always
this stuff-
does.
is this hot cocoa now? It's probably cold.
I don't see any
I saw it
steam.
sitting in there in the newsroom for like an hour, so it's not like cold motor oil. All right, I'll take your word for it. Let's talk forecast, because it felt beautiful. I mean, it was just sunny when I came into work.
Right.
And it felt really mild out there.
Yeah, I would say any weather is hot cocoa weather,
course.
but this weekend, actually a little bit of a stretch with some mild temperatures on the way. Possibly the best weekend in about 2 months. I'll have details on that, plus discuss our odds of a white Christmas in your First Alert forecast.
Good afternoon. I hope you had a really nice Thursday. We actually did see some sunshine on this Thursday, but the clouds have been filtering in all day ahead of our next kind of near miss system. We have two things in play. We have a surface trough, which is causing this snow to our north and west. Could bring just a couple of flurries into town later tonight. Really not looking at any major impacts from that. And also we have a low pressure system to our south that's causing the rain showers that you see a little bit closer to the Windy City. As we zoom in, I do think southeast of Madison, especially tonight into early tomorrow morning, a couple of spots could see a few snowflakes, maybe even a little bit of freezing rain, depending on what those temperatures are high above in the atmosphere. So we'll watch that closely, but I really don't see any major impacts going forward, which is good news, and we can concentrate on a beautiful weekend on tap for southern Wisconsin. Downtown Madison on the Edgewater Skycam looking at mostly cloudy skies, but still a little bit of light showing up, and which is good news. High today of 38, about 10 degrees above normal for this time of year, and some of us actually did get well into the 40s, 40 even in Monroe, 41, the high in Mineral Point, and 43 in Janesville. Visibility definitely looking better compared to this time yesterday, although a little bit of fog also possible in spots overnight. I don't think it will be anything that we really need to concern ourselves with. Temperatures right now are pretty close to their daytime highs in the upper 30s. Still some of us like Janesville hanging on to the 40s, and wind speeds not all that bad. Once again, about 5 miles per hour out of the north and east. Our high temperature trend coming up. This is something that we really didn't see basically all of November, where temperatures are staying above average for the next week, at least high temperatures, that is. And look at this weekend, folks. We see a return of green to our temperature map with low 40s on tap. So I do think maybe a few more clouds come in for Sunday, but still plenty of sunshine to go around over this weekend. That's going to be the nicest weather in about 2 months. Really going back over the last few months, we haven't really had a very nice weekend to hang our hat on. I finally get that. I finally think we will get that, and I get it intuitively as we head into this weekend. So with that in mind, Christmas not that far away, all you last minute shoppers. So what are the odds of a white Christmas? That being a Christmas day where we wake up and there's at least 1 inch of snow on the ground. Well, typically Madison has about a 50 to 60% chance of seeing a white Christmas, where 1 inch of snow on the ground to start Christmas Day. However, unfortunately for the snow lovers, I don't think this is a typical year. We're going to be fighting a lot of variables. Number one, pretty much above average temperatures, close to normal on this latest run of our Climate Prediction Center model, and that does include Christmas Day. However, below average precipitation looks pretty likely as we head into the week leading up to and including Christmas Day. So I would put our chances this year at about 20%. But I am saying there's a chance. Our day to watch is December 23rd, the Sunday before Christmas Day. There are some inclinations, especially from our American model, that we could see a little bit of snowfall on that day. And temperatures would stay chilly enough to keep that snow kind of locked in place. So cross your fingers for Sunday the 23rd right now. Tonight, though, mostly cloudy. I think any light snow will stay to the south and east of Madison, but a few snowflakes not out of the question. Tomorrow becoming mostly sunny and pleasant with highs close to 40. And on future track, really not looking at anything impressive. Maybe some rain, some freezing rain, a couple of snowflakes not out of the question. And we are clearing out tomorrow. A little bit of sunshine gets our temperatures close to 40 degrees. And then as we head into Saturday, I do think most of us get into the low 40s for highs, and we stay there on Sunday. A couple more clouds may come our way on Sunday. Then as we head into the middle of next week, a few flurries are possible as we head into the nighttime hours. Nothing really accumulating, though, so our best chance of seeing anything that would garner a white Christmas will be on day 10 of that 10-day forecast, which is not this Sunday, but next Sunday. So we'll keep an eye on that for sure.
All right, Dave, thank you very much.
Thanks, Dave.
The world's favorite nanny is back. Mary Poppins returns. That's a sequel to the iconic 1964 film Mary Poppins.
It continues the story of the Banks family that the original classic featured nearly 6 decades ago. Chris Martinez has more from Los Angeles.
Mary Poppins, you came back.
Beloved nanny Mary Poppins brings her magical powers back to Cherry Lane in Mary Poppins Returns. The film picks up the story of the Banks family after the children have grown up.
I've come to look after the Banks children. Us? Oh, yes, you too.
Mary Poppins, played by Emily Blunt, mysteriously reemerges to help Michael Banks through a crisis in Depression-era London.
In the first one, she comes in, and through magic and fantasia, she fixes and heals and saves these Banks children and the whole family, really. And then she leaves at the end. And I remember being devastated by that as a child.
Lin-Manuel Miranda plays Poppins' sidekick, Jack.
We're not trying to take anything away from the first film. It's just there's more Mary Poppins stories out there.
Director Rob Marshall brought animators out of retirement to hand-draw the characters for live-action scenes.
I wanted to pay great homage to that beautiful film and sort of pull the spirit from that into this sequel.
Blunt says she was blindsided when Marshall chose her to recreate the iconic character made famous by Julie Andrews.
I was stunned, completely stunned, and then sort of gasped.
Angela Lansbury, Colin Firth, and Meryl Streep also star, and 92-year-old Dick Van Dyke, the only cast member from the original movie, dances his way into the hearts of a new generation.
That's why I live and breathe.
Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Mary Poppins lands in theaters next Wednesday, December 19th.
Do I really say this? OMG, a new texting tax may be on the way for people who live in California?
We'll find out why, and we'll get reaction as Live at 4 continues.
BRB.
Very good.
Live look there at the Henry Vilas Zoo, the bison enclosure there. They're probably trying to build up those winter coats, although today they don't really
there
need
it is.
them.
I was looking for it in the picture.
So nice, that snow melting off there at the zoo.
Well, California residents are saying OMG about a new plan to put a fee on text messages.
Ileana Diaz explains why in this report from the West Coast.
Nobody's laughing out loud about the new proposal in California. State regulators want to slap a fee on text messaging.
More taxes? That already sounds bad to me.
Brittany Bernard likes the idea because the fee would go towards a program that offers phone service for low-income residents.
Why not do your extra part and just, pay a little extra? Why not? It's not going to cost you that much.
The amount of the surcharge is still up for discussion, but it would likely be billed as a flat fee rather than a charge per text. Student Haley McLaughlin likes the idea because it would help those in need.
Having an open line of communication is really important for everybody, and that if it's something that wouldn't cost us much and would be helpful, then I wouldn't be against it.
Consumer groups aren't so sure. The question is whether the surcharge is really a tax, in which case they say it should be proposed by elected officials.
There should be a solution to providing low-cost phone service to poor people, and we support the Lifeline program. But having the Public Utility Commission unilaterally ram through a rule to tax us all in this very, subjective and private process is wrong.
The wireless industry wants to dial down the plan, saying it will drive consumers to free messaging services like WhatsApp. The state's Public Utilities Commission will take a vote on the proposal next month. Ileana Diaz, CBS News, Los Angeles.
We'll keep you posted on that story. When we come back, gadgets for your kitchen.
Donna made her annual search for fun and practical gifts, and she's up next as Live at 4 continues. Stay with us.
Good evening. Here is your first alert traffic update, taking a live look at Rimrock Road and the Beltline. A little bit of slow go in both directions, but generally things are looking pretty good. We do have an accident that I want to make you aware of on Highway 14. This is University Ave westbound. The road is blocked from Deming Way to Eagle Drive because of an accident. Now on the Beltline, we're looking at our normal volume, average speed eastbound about 20 to 25 miles per hour. So your drive times for Run Road to John Nolan running slow right now eastbound, as you might expect, average speed right around 25 miles per hour. And in the other direction, that same stretch, a little bit on the slow side, John Nolan to Verona Road, 7 minutes westbound, average speed of around 40 miles per hour. And that's your first alert traffic update.
All right, Dave, thank you. Here's what happens when an armored truck springs a leak. A money leak. It happened this morning on a New Jersey highway. The truck apparently had a door that wasn't locked. It opened up. Cell phone video shows people walking along the highway trying to collect the cash to pay for their Christmas gifts. It wasn't all fun. The spill did cause at least 2 accidents.
Only 2? Boy,
Lock your doors, folks. Christmas less than 2 weeks away now.
If there is a foodie on your list, kitchen gadgets are always a great way to go. Nutritionist Donna Weihoffen is here with suggestions that are all available in Madison. Hi, Donna.
Right.
These are all from our friends at Orange Tree Imports on Monroe Street.
And Monroe Street is open.
Yes, that's good news.
I was in there the other day, and there are lots of people in there now shopping. So
just in time for the holidays.
Yes, I know. I'm going to show you a couple things.
Okay.
Why don't you show this syrup holder?
And you don't have to do a thing.
You don't have to. You put your syrup, like maple syrup, in it in the refrigerator, and store it in there, and then you just tip it, and it just goes down.
Can you microwave this?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, that's a good
Very
question.
Easy.
Yeah,
Very
that's
easy.
great.
And then the sprayer.
For oils and
For
whatnot.
oil. You know, I always have that on hand, because instead of pouring gobs of oil in your pan, if you just spray it, you save so many.
Spray the olive oil. You
Yes,
save
yeah.
so many calories.
You do. You know, there's 100 calories in every tablespoon of fat. So you save it. This is a nice jar. This for any mason jar. It's a cover. You can put it on, and then you can use it for your own drinking.
Drinking beer out of a mason jar.
Or storage of any kind, but it's a really nice cover for mason jars.
I like that color too. This would be a beautiful hostess gift.
You have that, don't
I
you?
love that. Donna bought me this for Christmas last year, and I have it displayed in my kitchen.
Well, it's
I
a
love
nice
it.
gift for like out-of-town people who don't live in Wisconsin anymore.
Yeah.
It's really great. That's about $24.
Nice little state flavor
It's
there.
a cutting board, but it's too. I think it's too pretty to actually use.
Well, you can turn it over.
Turn it over.
Yeah, there you go. That's the idea.
These are
really
food
nice.
huggers. And if you have a half a grapefruit left over, half an apple, you stick it in this little hugger and put it in the refrigerator. And you could do it for onions or other kinds of fruits.
Oh, that's a great idea,
Half
rather
a
than just
lemon.
put it in a Ziploc bag.
I know. It's kind of fun.
What's this little timer?
That's a timer for eggs. And you
Okay.
put it in the pan, and it tells you if it's soft, medium, or hard by the color. It turns from red to black.
So you actually put that in the pot with the egg?
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
that's neat.
I love this bowl. If you want to take something along, like in your purse, you take off, take off this, and you go like that, and it's a bowl. And then if you want to put it away after a while, because you ate everything, you can just put it away.
Well, that's a great
Isn't
idea.
that a great thing?
You're packing your lunch.
And I think what goes with it are these straws. You know, it's a big deal now to get rid of
problem.
Big problem. There's millions and millions of straws used every single day. Lots of garbage. And so you could actually store your straw in here, put it in your purse, and that'd be a way to have your straw.
Now, those straws are, what are they
They're
made
silicone.
of? Oh, they're silicone.
They're washable. They're in the dishwasher. And Orange Tree 2 has a little brush that goes in the inside, and you can clean it. So I think this is, you know, we're not going to get straws in restaurants anymore.
Right.
So.
Well, something
Pack 'em with
small
you.
you can do for a big impact.
Yeah, this would be
absolutely.
a big impact. A grapefruit kind of cutter, you take off this end, and you go through here, and it takes out the core, and then you turn it over, and you use this end, and you scoop out your grapefruit. So this one does everything in one thing, and you've got
Yeah, so it'll section it for you.
It sections it, and the core is out. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's a cool idea. Yeah.
This is a little scrubber for mushrooms. Mushrooms you're not supposed to soak in water, and so this kind of scrubs them clean.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I've been eating the dirt on those things all these years.
Just scrub them clean just like that. I had this last year. It's my own, and so I took it out of my cupboard, and the battery has been lasted all year. It opens up the can. I absolutely love it.
How does that thing work?
If you have somebody who has like physical challenges or arthritis, that is the neatest thing.
How is it knowing where the edge is?
And there it is.
Look, it took it right off. Isn't that cool?
Nice.
Is that cool? And so I love it. And so as I said, it's mine. I got it at Orange Tree last year.
Okay, great.
Another thing I got at Orange Tree last year.
Onion goggles or
oh,
what?
I would never be without my onion goggles. My kids too would not be out without my onion glasses. Everybody has to have.
You need to have them.
Otherwise, they might, tears up.
And you look cool too at the same time.
I love this chopper. This is a chopper that is manual. And you can put in any kind of, this is potatoes, but you could put in fruit or apples or nuts. I chopped nuts in here. And you put the cover back on, and then you just turn it yourself. And you go clockwise, go like this. It's not too hard.
Cuts it up pretty good, even though it's not an electronic-powered food processor.
Right. Just like that. And I'll show you, look at the
Look
potatoes.
at how quick that was.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I've chopping potatoes or apples or something like that. Really nice, and you don't have to plug it in. And I really like this one. That's one of my favorites.
Small and compact.
Yeah,
Smaller than a regular food processor.
And you can do almost anything in it, I think. They say ice, too. I didn't try the ice yet.
Now, this is a saucepan that Donna swears by.
Oh, yes, this is mine.
Yeah?
The Swiss
The
diamond.
Swiss diamond, right?
Yes,
Why is it so great?
It actually has a surface that really is hard to destroy. And it's really everything washes off so easily. It has diamonds in the surface, actually. So it's really, really hard. This is my favorite saucepan. Forever and ever and ever. No, it does not stick, and it washes clean really, really well.
Okay.
I love thermometers. This one is actually mine. I bought this. But with turkey and all those things, thermometers are really important. And this one has a digital.
Let's see if we can tilt this so everybody at home. There you go. So everybody can see.
Okay, so it has a digital piece on here, and you can stick it in as instant read.
That's great. Takes all the confusion out of it.
I go through a lot of those for grilling too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Now
you
need this for all the parsley.
You comb my hair. You say my. Oh, I see.
Yes, I heard you don't like parsley, but any herb where you want to take off the stem, you just go like this. And
there you go.
There you go. And otherwise, you're always picking. Okay.
Last one.
Last one. The cookbook. Oh, they have all kinds of cookbooks, but the Junior League of Madison has their cookbook there. It's really one of my favorite books. It's available at Orange Tree, along with other cookbooks too. But this one's really good. So Orange Tree on Monroe Street. Go.
Check out Monroe Street and Orange Tree.
Visit our friend Orange while you're there. Thank you, Donna. Great suggestion.
Yes.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
We'll be right back.
All right, let's get a final check with Dave.
A few spots, especially south and east of Madison, could see a little bit of freezing rain or snow overnight, but really should not be a major deal as a low pressure system kind of skirts us a bit. Tonight, mostly cloudy again. Southeast, maybe some light snow, temperatures in the upper 20s, but we'll get rid of those clouds tomorrow and enjoy lots of sunshine this weekend. Temperatures tomorrow close to 40.
Looking forward to it.
Good stuff.
Dave, thanks.
All right, thank you, Dave. Tomorrow on Live at 4, how holiday shopping can actually contribute to your happiness and well-being.
I'm not sure about that. I'm really going to have to check that out. We'll go backstage as well, the production of A Holly Jolly Christmas with Bruno and the Dells. That's on the next Live at 4.